All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're recapping Game 6. The Nuggets survive and end up winning 119-107, and they force a Game 7 again. We'll talk about it here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do have the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications to also like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and closer the days go on. So support our channel, be very much appreciated. Link to our Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't want to see any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So the Denver Nuggets end up surviving, winning Game 6, 119-107. They force a Game 7 again. And yeah, what a win for the Nuggets. Really, with their season on the line, come out and do what they gotta do. This was a game that the Nuggets got off to a really good start in the first quarter. Jamal Murray came out firing from the get-go during his flu game. They had, I think 11 assists on 12 or 13 field goals made early in the first quarter. The defensive pressure was really on. Thunder weren't really making shots early. The Nuggets controlled this game in the first quarter. Second quarter, the script flipped. The Thunder started to force turnovers, cause chaos. The Nuggets offense really slowed down. Shea got going, and the Thunder took control of the game. Thunder had I think an 8 to 10 point lead at one point in the second quarter. The only problem was the foul trouble from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shea picked up his fourth foul in the second quarter on a bad foul, fouling in the backcourt on Jokic for no reason. Nuggets go on a run, tie the game, but then Lu Dort hits a three. Thunder only up by 3 at halftime. And yeah, first half, yeah, I mean the Thunder shot 57% of the field, they hit 7 threes. They won the rebounding battle, all that stuff. Shea had 14, Chet had 11, Case Wallace gave you 10 off the bench. But still only a 3-point lead because for the Nuggets, I mean, Christian Brown, Jamal Murray, Jokic are doing their thing. And yeah, we get to the third quarter. The third quarter, starts off kind of similar to what the third quarter does. It's back and forth. Denver starts off good, then OKC fights back. The end of the third quarter was where the tide started to turn in this game. Specifically, two guys, Jamal Murray and Julian Strawther. Jamal Murray with his energy, he had 3 for 7, 9, 3 and 3 in the quarter. Not just scoring wise, but I feel like his intensity level, hyping up the crowd, buying in the defensive end and all that stuff. And then Julian Strawther. Who would have thought that Julian Strawther would be a big part in saving the Nuggets season? He had 8 points at the end of the third quarter, 2 3-pointers that were huge, and just brought a lot of energy. And then for OKC, they shot 8 for 23, 34%. They were 2 for 11 from 3 in the quarter. Shea had 10 of the 21 points. Besides that, Isaiah Hartenstein had 3 shots, but besides that, they had 5 points between Holmgren, Williams, Dort, and the bench. J-Dub was 0 for 5 from the field in the third quarter. The bench was 0 for 5 and 0 for 4 from 3. And we get to the fourth, and Denver just keeps running away with it. Julian Strawther has another 7 points. Nikola Jokic starts to take over with 11 points. OKC once again shoots 2 for 12 from field. From 3 in the fourth quarter, Caruso hit 2 threes, and that's it. They only got 1 free throw attempt, while the Nuggets had 12. The Nuggets dominated the rebounding battle 16-6. OKC tried to go with an ultra small lineup at one point with Shea and Shea, J-Dub, Lu Dort, Caruso, and Wiggins, and just didn't work on the boards. And the Nuggets end up getting the W. Nuggets shoot 45% for the field in the second half. OKC shoots 38%. OKC shoots 4 for 23 from 3 in the second half and only had 4 free throw attempts compared to Denver's 17 free throw attempts. Denver also won the rebounding battle 33-16 in the second half. And Denver survives. Yeah, Jokic gives you 29, 14, and 8 in a game where Jokic I didn't feel like was Superman. I felt Jokic kind of had to be Superman in this game for them to win, but they didn't because they got contribution from everyone else. Jamal Murray, 25, 8, and 7. He was huge. Christian Brown, 23, 11, and 5. 3 steals, 8 for 14. He hit 3 threes. He was awesome in this game. And then Julian Strawther, 15 points off the bench. I don't know if anybody from the Nuggets has scored 15 points in this series off the bench besides Jokic, Murray, and the starters. Just Julian Strawther bringing his energy and all that stuff was huge. Looking at some of the battles won. The free throw battle. Denver doubled the amount of OKC's free throw attempts. 32 free throw attempts for Denver, and they made 27 of them. They won the rebounding battle, 52-40. Won the assist battle. Just big time stuff for Denver. They find a way to win a game where Aaron Gordon doesn't have his best offense tonight. He did have 7 rebounds, 7 assists. MPJ still didn't really provide a whole lot in this game either. But still being able to find a way to win. And really, when it comes to these moments, you saw last game where it was Jokic being Superman and no one else could really step up. This game, they stepped up. Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Julian Strawther, All three of those guys stepped up in huge ways and helped Denver be able to win this game. They forced another game 7 on the road, and it's going to be tough. But Denver, man, what a win for them. For OKC side, I mean, Shea gives you 32, has a solid game. Besides that, just didn't really feel like much else going on. Chet Holmgren had a really good first half. Second half, Chet had 8 points, 3 for 8, 1 for 5 from 3. He had foul trouble. Just couldn't really feel like he could really contribute at all this game. J-Dub, really bad night. 6 points, 3 for 16, 0 for 4 from 3. He did have 10 assists and 7 rebounds, but, I mean, he just could not get his shot going at all. A lot of easy misses. Like, they really needed him to alleviate a lot of pressure with them doubling Shea and all that stuff. And we see at some points during, the series where the Nuggets are kind of throwing a man zone double at Shea, where Shea kind of goes to one side and they start to double him and, like, zone him up at points. And those are the games and moments when they need J-Dub and when they need the shooters to shoot. And in this game, it just wasn't happening. J-Dub, 3 for 16, got to be better, Chet Holmgren didn't provide much on offense, and it felt like. And the 3-point shooting, 27%, 11 for 40. And they weren't counteracting it by getting the free throw line. They had 16 free throw attempts. They also missed 6. Shot 62% from the free throw line. You're not going to win a game like that. The bench didn't provide much at all. I mean, Caruso, Case, and Wallace tried and gave it their best effort. But at the end of the day, they need J-Dub to step up. They need J-Dub and Chet Holmgren to be what they are, which are all-star level players. Those are the number 2 and 3 options on this team. And it feels like those two haven't really had a very consistently good series. And this was a game where they desperately needed some of those guys on the road, an elimination game. They needed those guys to step up and play well, and they didn't. Especially J-Dub. He didn't play well at all. And now, pressure's back on OKC. Game 7, back at home. It's going to be a really, really good game. But for OKC, they need J-Dub, man. They really do. They need J-Dub. They need their others to step up. I mean, it's so cliche to say it, but it's really, when it comes down to these points, it's like, whose role players are going to step up and make the most plays? And today, it was Denver. Denver had multiple guys step up and make big plays. OKC didn't. And again, I know it's a cliche thing that's like an obvious thing, but truly, you watch this game, you truly see like, oh shoot, Julian Strawther's giving you 15 points, Jamal Murray's bringing you energy, Christian Brown's bringing you energy. Like, that just changes so many different things, when these guys have confidence. And for OKC, it's on the other side. OKC hasn't really been able to deal with pressure and high leverage situations great in this series. They did in game 4 and 5, where I talked about where I was like, they're growing up. If the guys are hitting big shots and they're making big plays, this game, they kind of reverted back to their old selves, where it's kind of just like Shea, and then everyone else kind of like just being around, chucking up shots, trying to make something happen, but wasn't making something happen. This was very reminiscent to like a game 1, game 3 OKC Thunder, where it was like, again, nothing really. The offense looked bad. Denver just had all the confidence in the world. Denver was kind of leaving everyone open, but like, all right, if Shea doesn't beat us, okay. The other 4 on the court are going to have to beat us. It's not going to be number 2. It's going to be everyone else. And everyone else couldn't beat him tonight. But now we have a game 7 in OKC. Should be a heck of a game. But then again, we said that about the last series, and Denver whooped them. But hopefully the OKC is not the Clippers. So hopefully this is a way better game than the first game 7 between Denver and the Clippers. But I'm very excited, man. Very excited. I mean, obviously, it's going to come down to the role players. And I think it really comes down to who can cause the most chaos on the defensive end. It felt like in this game, especially in the first half, the lead was changing between the team that was more, I guess, aggressive on defense. Denver came out aggressive on defense early. They got to an early lead. OKC fought back and turned and flipped the script. They started to get control of this game. Second half, it felt like Denver was more physical and aggressive on defense. And I feel like that's going to be a big part of Game 7. Game 7 where, kind of things are a little bit kind of tight. Offenses aren't at their full peak of their powers. It's kind of, game starts off rough. It's going to be really who can cause the most chaos on defense and get out in transition and get the easier buckets to start the game. I think it's going to be a big determining factor. Obviously, also combining that with whose role players are going to step up more in this game. OKC hasn't really been. These guys have never really been in a Game 7 type of situation before, while Denver literally was in it a week ago. So it's going to be very interesting to see how OKC comes out and how they perform and their mentality and how they, deal with the pressure of a Game 7. I'm very excited. But Denver, man, this was such a great win for them to keep their season alive. Credit to all the guys, all the role players being able to step up and help Jokic and I'm itching for it, man. I cannot wait for this game 7. But yeah, it's gonna be today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn on notifications, doing all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Once again, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so support our channel, be very much appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.